never being too busy for me. Thank you for never turning me away. Thank you for listening, for caring, not out of obligation or with frustration in His voice.
Have you ever reached out to someone only to be met with silence, disinterest, or a half-hearted response? Have you ever longed for a conversation where you are truly heard, understood, and embraced with love? In this video, we explore something profound, our relationship with God and how He never turns away when we call. Unlike people who may be too busy, distracted, or unreachable, God is always there, listening with undivided attention. Join me as I share a heartfelt reflection on the beauty of calling God from my own experience, how He answers, and the peace and restoration we find in His presence. By the end of this video, you'll be reminded that no matter what, you are never alone. God is always waiting for your call. I made several phone calls to my family and friends earlier today to just catch up. Some answered, but I could tell from their tone that they weren't in the mood to talk. I figured out that maybe they were busy, distracted, or just not wanting to have a conversation at that moment, probably because of the circumstances of their lives that I had no idea about. You know, people are going through a lot of fighting, silent battles, and so I can't blame them because I have been there many times. Others didn't answer at all. The phone was mteja, meaning unreachable due to network issues, or phones were off for one reason or another. But then, there were those I spoke to for hours, like my sister and one of my close friends, and the conversation flowed so freely, filled with laughter, shared memories, and deep connection. At that moment, after all the pleasantries, chit-chat, and deep conversations, I deeply reflected on our relationship with God. How often do we reach out to people only to be met with silence, disinterest, or half-hearted responses? And yet, when we call on God, He always answers. Always. There is never a time when He sees my call and declines it. He never responds out of obligation or with frustration in His voice. He never gives me a rushed reply just to get me off the line. Instead, He listens fully, attentively, and lovingly. Indeed, He makes this clear in Jeremiah 33, verse 3. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. May I remind you that God is not like man? He never grows weary of hearing my voice. There is not a single day I will call and He will ignore me. No moment will I reach out and He will sigh in exhaustion. No matter the time, no matter the situation, His line is always open. He will never block me. His phone is never out of network. His battery never dies, and He never goes offline. Even when I come with my burdens, confusion, frustrations, fears, and brokenness, or even when I have nothing to say, just silence and tears, He still welcomes me. The call with my sister today lasted over 2 hours. We had so much to talk about that time flew without us noticing. That's how it is with God. There is never a moment when He rushes me off. There's always more to say, more to receive, more to discover, more to learn, more to gaze and at His presence. Psalms 145 verse 18 assures us that the Lord is near to all who call on Him, to all who call on Him in truth. And here's the beautiful part. When I speak to God, I don't come out feeling empty. Unlike some human conversations that sometimes leave me drained or disappointed, a conversation with God leaves me filled, uplifted, restored, encouraged, and with so much hope and optimism, even in the middle of a dark cloud. Sometimes I may go into prayer weary and burdened, but I come out refreshed. His words, His presence, His peace, His embrace, His comfort, His assurance, they all transform me. In Matthew chapter 11 verse 28, Jesus invites us with the card saying, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." So today, I just want to say, thank you, God. Thank you for always answering. Thank you for never being too busy. Thank you for never turning me away. Thank you for listening, for caring, for speaking, for staying close. No matter how many times I call, you are there. And no matter what I bring to you, I know I will never walk away the same. If people ignore you, if they are too busy for you or don't want to talk, remember that God is always ready to listen. Just call. He is waiting. Even if it's just a whisper, one sentence, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour, or even a silent whisper in your heart, just call. He is waiting and He will listen. If you've ever felt ignored, unheard, or weighed down by life's burdens, remember this: God is always ready to listen. Unlike human relationships that may falter, His line is never busy, His connection never weak, and His love never fades. So don't hesitate. Call on Him. Whether in whispers, tears, or words, He's waiting, ready to answer and fill you with peace. If this message has touched your heart, take a moment today to reach out to God. And if you know someone who needs this reminder, share it with them. Let's encourage one another to call on the one who always listens. God bless you.